By subscribing today, you get the Fisherman magazine every week, the chance to enter the Dream Boat Challenge, and unlock the great features of the new Fisherman website.
I'm Dave Anderson with the Fisherman magazine. I'm going to show you how to wire a regular plug and also a flaptail. So the first thing I do when just wiring any basic generic plug is put a nose grommet over the wire. So it slides over this, and it just basically keeps the two ends of the wire together, and also makes it so that when you have a fish on, it doesn't sink the ends of the wire into the wood of the plug. So the next thing we do is just basically feed this through the plug, and make sure it all fits through, and then we just put the swivel into place and just let the wire, that's how I missed, of course, but just let the wire come through and catch the other loop of the swivel, and this feeds through here. And then we put a tail grommet over the other end like this. And what I'm going to do is situate the loop the way I want it. Could be horizontal or vertical. In this case it's vertical. And then I just bend this loop, this tag end of the wire up at 45 degrees. So we've got it about like this. And I take a pair of small needle nose pliers and I grab it as close to the grommet as I can. And then we just wrap this right around the end of the pliers. Try not to damage the plug on the way by. Squeeze it together like that. Then take a pair of small vice grips and I make sure it's adjusted to grip the end of the wire. It's a little loose here. Just enough so that it holds it pretty tightly. Put this around this is a 3/16 drill bit. You could use almost anything. And then you just go over once, over twice, and then the second time I try to cinch it back against the grommet a little bit to hold it tightly in place. And once I've done 4 flips like that, I've got a wrap look something like this. We call that done. So at that point, just trim off the tag, and then I just take my vice grips one more time and just seat that down against the wrap. And that's that. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the flaptail, which is a little bit of a different process altogether. Still going to start the same way. Put the nose grommet over the wire. And in this case we have 2 belly holes in the plug, so I've got to thread 2 swivels, which makes it a little more interesting. So this one is coming out a little bit low, so I just put a slight bend in the wire so that I can hit the hole going through. Let's put an even more of a bend in it. Okay, so now I'm where I want to be. Put the swivel there. Give a little twist. Okay, this one's being a little difficult. All right. Put the next swivel in place, and then just go all the way through. Now, one of the most important things for this plug is that it's got an off-center line tie like this, but I want it to be as close to the body as possible. So I'm going to grab it with my vice grips like this, and I'm just going to pull until it seats deeply into the wood of the plug. Now, it's not going to make a huge difference as far as sealing goes. If you're someone who's really into having everything perfect, you can touch that up with a little bit of clear nail polish or something like that. But I don't take it to that level. Now here's the tail assembly that I detailed in the article. We have a flaptail blade. We have a small split ring, number 4 split ring. We have a small swivel, which I believe was a number 8 size Spro swivel. And then we have a piece of plumber's chain, which I've cut so that I could slide the swivel into place from here all the way down to there. This is going to go over the wire, and I've recessed the back of the plug slightly so that it will accept it. So I put that in like this, And we want the cut side to be sandwiched against the plug by the complete link. So you can see there. And what we're going to do from here is I'm just going to take a 1/2-inch tail grommet, put it over the wire, and I'm just going to push it down into place so that it's basically like smushing that link together. And now comes the sort of complicated part. We're going to start the same way. I'm going to bend it up at 45 degrees. Then I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to grab with the needle nose pliers as close as I can to the grommet. This is where it changes a little bit. Now I'm going to fold this down, bend it over until it touches this link. It's not going to stay touching, it's going to spring back a little bit, but this is what we're looking for. Then I'm going to grab this again as close to the bend as I can, and I'm going to bend it back out. So now we've got, it's basically 45 to 90 degree angle. Now, the next step, we're going to grab where we, as close to the grommet as possible. We're going to bend this down straight. So it's exiting the back of the plug pretty much perpendicular to the grommet. Then, we're going to take the vice grips and we're going to squeeze this loop together. Like that. So basically we just want a knot on the back of the plug. And this is so that no one makes a mistake and puts a tail hook on there, and just to keep the plug together. Now the next step we have to do is we're going to take this out of the vise like we were using before, and we're going to close this up just until it will accept this but not grip it. So I'm going to take it to about there. So now you can see that it's holding it tightly enough to not move, but I can push it in and out without too much effort. Again, we're going to grab this, and then we're going to do the same type of wrap that we did before, but we're going to do it with the vise holding it in place. So we're going to keep putting it in, wrapping it as tightly to the plug body as we can. Rotate it around one more time. Around. And then one last time. Okay. And basically, we've got a little cinnamon bun coil there. Actually, I'm going to take that one more time around. It looks a little loose. So I'm just going to tighten it up once more so I have a complete wrap. And then you just take those off. Trim the tag. Squeeze this. Squeeze it a little too much, but squeeze it as tightly as I can. And we're done. That's it.